Burkina Faso has been making a concerted effort to deepen its diplomatic connections with other nations worldwide. The objectives of this endeavor are to strengthen cultural exchanges, advance economic cooperation, and establish diplomatic ties. Burkina Faso wants to increase its worldwide impact and provide possibilities for its people, forming deeper partnerships with other countries. This is why, in today's video, we will be talking about the shipment of combat drones Burkina Faso received from Turkey. We will also be seeing some of the ways in which Burkina Faso is strengthening ties with many other countries. But before we continue, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the new tourist channel so you are updated on everything that happens in Burkina Faso. As part of Turkey's assistance in the fight against terrorism, Burkina Faso's military leaders have received a fresh consignment of military drones. The presidency of Ouagadougou reported this in a note, while regional press sources specify that the Burkinabe army has received at least 2 Akinji model drones and 3 TB2 model drones. Other reports state that the shipment contains about 12 combat drones of the Akinji and TB2 models, which were both created by the Turkish business Baykar Technologies, which supplies the army with aerospace and military technologies. The Akinji is equipped with dual artificial intelligence avionics, which supports real-time signal processing, sensor fusion, and situational awareness. It carries electronic support systems, dual satellite communication systems, air-to-air radar, collision avoidance radar, and synthetic aperture radar. It is equipped with a variety of weaponry, such as missiles similar to the smart micro-munitions developed by renowned Turkish contractor Roketsan. Regarding the purchased models, Traore emphasized that the Akinji has exceeded the technical capabilities expected by the manufacturer, and the TB2 has proved its functions since the beginning of this war. Traore stated, "The expansion of the fleet, therefore, allows us to intervene promptly and conduct permanent surveillance." Since September 30, 2022, the country has been ruled by the Traore government, which took over after overthrowing a different group of military coup leaders led by Colonel Paul Henry Santiago Damiba, who had overthrown former President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore in January of the previous year. According to Defense Minister Coulibaly, the Burkinabe military leaders now has access to more drones than before. He claimed that numerous drones of this kind are currently flying over the country, scanning the skies for potential enemies to eliminate. The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was thanked by the head of the military government for this healthy and sincere collaboration. Since 2015, Burkina Faso has seen a rise in jihadist groups connected to the Islamic State, Al-Qaeda, and other armed groups. This violence has resulted in almost 20,000 loss of lives and 2 million displaced persons. The nation has recently seen an increase in terrorist assaults and genuine seizures of land by jihadist militants. One example of this is the province of Yagha, which is currently under the control of armed organizations and is located in the northeast of Burkina Faso. At the beginning of the month, the General Mobilization Order Against Terrorism, which mandates the conscription of all men eligible for the draft starting at age 18, was extended by the military by a year. The military's justification for taking the action was to consolidate the results obtained and the fight against terrorism. However, civil society strongly objected to the broad mobilization, condemning the coerced requisitions of opposition personalities. Days after Burkina Faso acquired the Turkish Akinji combat drones, a video surfaced on social media on April 29, showing an unmanned combat aerial vehicle detecting and striking what was being classified as terrorist targets belonging to the Islamist groups in Burkina Faso. The video's description explained that a combination of TB2 and Akinji drones were used for the operation. If these reports are true, this would be one of the first times the Turkish drone, whose demand for exports has skyrocketed, was used in warfare. Note that when Akinji was first employed in the Turkish military, it was part of the Pençkillit operations, which targeted PKK positions in northern Iraq, including caves and shelters. Libya, another nation in the Middle East, has also employed drones in its anti-smuggling efforts. Burkina Faso remains marred in a civil conflict against Islamist groups such as the Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State. The threat posed by Islamist militants who have been invading Burkina Faso from neighboring Mali and Niger is growing. As drone warfare is gaining prominence worldwide, Burkina Faso has purchased the state-of-the-art unmanned combat aerial vehicles to strengthen its counterterrorism efforts. The Akinji drone is expected to be deployed against terrorist and rebel targets, particularly motorcycle riding groups of militants. Ibrahim Traore emphasized in his speech how much the country believes the Bayraktar TB2 and Akinji drones would be invaluable tools in the fight against new security threats. This purchase demonstrates Burkina Faso's calculated transition to Turkish-made, cutting-edge military hardware. The installation of the drones is a significant step forward, indicating how Turkish defense companies are finding success in Africa. By using Akinji drones, Burkina Faso has proven that it is willing to effectively combat terrorism and insurgency activities. The drones have proven to be effective in a range of environments, so they are in a good position to reduce the hazards posed by extremist groups. Note that in January, Burkina Faso received a shipment of new military equipment from China, including armored vehicles, self-propelled mortars, and various weapons and ammunition. The delivery was part of a strategic equipment plan that aimed to strengthen the country's security forces in their fight against jihadist insurgents as well. President Captain Ibrahim Traore was present at the ceremony on January 12th to introduce the new equipment. Traore examined 6 fire support vehicles, manufactured by the Chinese manufacturer Norinco and equipped with 105 guns. He also inspected 8 self-propelled mortars that were mounted on a Dongfeng light tactical vehicle. These were the first of their kind to be seen in Africa. According to Minister of Defense Brigadier General Kassoum Coulibaly, these were the first of 5 consignments that were expected to arrive over the coming months under the strategic equipment plan. We can now confirm what Coulibaly said with the arrival of these drones. The acquisition of new military equipment from China and Turkey signals the military government's intention to consolidate its power and resist external pressure for a return to constitutional order. In a move that dealt yet another blow to Europe's standing, in an area where Russia is gaining ground, French soldiers combating Islamist extremists in Burkina Faso were told to depart the country last year. In February, France and Burkina Faso officially marked the end of French military operations in the West African nation, after a flag-lowering ceremony at the French Special Forces camp. The failure to stop the jihadist violence and Russia's growing foothold in the region propelled this decision. Burkina Faso is one of the world's poorest and has been battling a deadly jihadist insurgency since 2015, which has resulted in many terminated, especially in the north and east of the country. The West African country has been rocked by 2 coups since the start of the year, with each new leader accusing the previous of having failed to quell the violence. Last August, the Burkina Faso army received a shipment of Emirati-made Isotrex Phantom mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, according to images that were circulating on social media. The vehicles were believed to have been acquired from the United Arab Emirates, a close ally of Burkina Faso. In June 2023, Burkina Faso also signed a contract with Egypt's Cater's factory for some FAD armored personnel carriers. Note that this is not the first time Burkina Faso has received a military shipment from Turkey. The Burkina Faso army received the first 4 Neural Makina Edger 6x, 6 armored fighting vehicles from Turkey in January 2023. The country also purchased the Neural Edger Yalçın 4x, 4 armored vehicles from Turkey in February 2023. As Burkina Faso keeps receiving weapons from its allies, Russia has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening relations with Burkina Faso as Igor Martynov has assumed the role of the new Russian ambassador to the West African nation. Since the reopening of the Russian embassy in Ouagadougou in December 2023, Saltykov had served as Russia's envoy to Burkina Faso before the appointment of the new ambassador. In the midst of all this, Burkina Faso's military-led government has also suspended French news outlet Jeune Afrique's print and online operations in the country, accusing it of seeking to discredit the military. Traore is doing everything possible to make sure that Burkina Faso becomes what he envisaged it to be. His attempts to fortify relations with several nations have shown to be a major stride in Burkina Faso's socioeconomic development. These alliances have created opportunities for international collaboration and understanding by facilitating trade, investment, and cultural exchange. Burkina Faso has increased its influence and growth potential by positioning itself as a major participant in the international arena and forging strong diplomatic ties. The country is well positioned to gain from greater cooperation as it broadens its network of international partnerships, opening the door to a successful future. Burkina Faso is exhibiting its commitment to development and international engagement by means of its endeavors to construct bridges and cultivate significant relationships. However, Traore must exercise caution and responsibility in utilizing these combat drones. While they offer undeniable advantages in terms of intelligence gathering and tactical operations, it is essential to ensure that they are used in compliance with international humanitarian laws and with respect for civilian lives. The responsibility lies not only with Burkina Faso, but also with Turkey, as the supplier of these advanced military assets, to ensure that they are used solely for defensive purposes and within the framework of Burkina Faso's national security. Do you believe Burkina Faso will be one of the strongest African countries in some years to come? Let us know what you think in the comments. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the New Tourist channel. Turn on notifications too so you get notified whenever we upload videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.